there's a lot to be said for the rights that are afforded to citizens of a place, of legal citizens of a place, that kind of thing, right? But of course, it's easy for me to want to say something like, well, how much of a distinction is there when you pay taxes just like a citizen, you support the economy just like a citizen, right? All that kind of thing, And so it seems like the distinction seems to be almost academic in some sense. And anyway, but that's something that I really think people should think about. And not just that, it's also like, I think it's really healthy for you to take a stock of what you gain versus what you're losing, right? So, and that's something that I did recently is like, okay, well, if I'm here, right, what do I gain? And of course I gain a job that I love doing despite everything. And if all goes well, I'm gonna be in a much better position here pretty quick. Again, I can't talk about it. And then, it's not just that. It's like I have a family here. So I have a family, and there's a car. This is like a kind of a crosswalk area, and there's a car stopped here, and there's like a young girl in the back seat who's like staring at me awkwardly. So let's go this way. I was taking too long of a break anyhow, and what was I talking about? Just taking stock and sort of weighing it. I don't need to go through everything for you, right? You don't want to hear it either, probably. So, but anyway, all of this to say, like, I just want it to be, I'm sure there'll some people hear this and say, well, no, duh, I think about it, kind of thing. But what I'm trying to say is you should really think about it, right? Like, now this is what I've always wanted to do, so I'm gonna go, that kind of thing, right? And at least in my experience, there was no sort of like, I didn't have the wherewithal. Is wherewithal the right word? I didn't have the maturity, I suppose, to really stop and think about what it would mean. And I don't regret it because I'm happy for where I am and that kind of thing. But and why talk about this, I suppose. And that's because I know that there are people who watch this channel, specifically because of conversations I've had with people who've watched this channel. I don't need to say their names, specifically call them out, but who, for example, are planning to come over here next spring, that kind of thing, or in 2 years after they finish university, they want to come here and teach English, or they want to just come over for a visit or whatever, right? Or long term study abroad, that kind of thing. And study abroad, to a lesser extent, should require the same amount of forethought, I suppose. But particularly for the people who are like, no, I want to go over there, I want to teach, and maybe I don't just want to teach, maybe I want to start a life over there, that kind of thing, which in hindsight is kind of a crazy thing to be able to think before you've ever really lived in a place. I mean, independently, because I had lived here for a year total before I moved here as a teacher. And so I had some idea, but it wasn't by myself. I was in a homestay situation, and so I didn't really understand what it meant, right? But even so, I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna go start a life. Fucking arrogance of a young man, right? Like, honestly. So, I think you just have to make up your mind that you're going to be okay with things that are going to happen.